There is a certain kind of soul in this world who always sees what everyone else misses. You catch the flicker behind a smile. You feel the tension in a room before a single word is spoken. You notice the thing nobody says out loud, the thing hanging in the air that everyone else pretends isn't there. You read what people try so desperately to hide, no matter how well they hide it. And for years, maybe your whole life, you quietly wondered if something was wrong with you. Beloved, listen to me closely today. Nothing is wrong with you. Nothing has ever been wrong with you. You are chosen. This is not a defect. This is not you being difficult, or too sensitive, or too much. This is the unmistakable mark of a soul that was never meant to sleep through this life. The world has a name for what you carry. They call it intuition. They call it being perceptive, being an old soul, being an empath. But heaven has a different name for it. Heaven calls it discernment, and it was placed inside you on purpose, by a hand far greater than your own, long before you ever took your first breath. Welcome home, chosen one. Sit with me for a while. Set down whatever you were carrying today, because we are going to talk about the gift you have carried in silence for so long, and the truth about it that most people around you will never, ever understand. Let me tell you how this gift actually works inside you. Most people move through this world watching only the surface. They hear the words a person says, and they believe them completely. They see the smile, and they trust it without a second thought. They live on the top layer of everything, and honestly, there is a kind of peace in that sort of blindness, a comfort, a softness. They sleep well at night because they never notice the storm gathering on the horizon. But you were built differently. Your spirit does not stop at the surface. While the words are still leaving someone's mouth, you are already reading the eyes. You are catching the half-second where the smile doesn't quite reach them. You are hearing the voice climb just slightly out of tune with what is being claimed. Something ancient in you quietly whispers, "This does not match." And that whisper has almost never been wrong. When a coworker leans over and says, "I am so happy for you," you feel the thin, cold thread of envy running underneath the warmth. When someone showers you with charm and grand promises and dazzling stories, your spirit does not melt. It watches. It measures. It waits. You have sat across from people who fooled entire rooms full of intelligent adults, and within minutes, sometimes within seconds, you already knew exactly what they were. This is not you being paranoid. This is not you being negative or cynical or cold. This is your God-given radar, tuned to a frequency this world simply cannot fake its way past. And here is something even deeper, something that separates you from the merely clever. You do not only see the lie, you see the wound underneath the lie. You look at the man who is shouting and puffing out his chest, throwing his weight around the room, and instead of fear, you feel it. A frightened little boy, terrified of losing control, hiding inside a grown man's anger. You look at the one who brags without end, who name drops and performs and never stops talking about himself, and you do not see confidence. You see a bottomless pit of insecurity, aching to be told that he matters. You look at the woman who is cold and sharp with everyone, and you sense the betrayal that taught her to be that way. You see straight past the mask, into the trembling human being hiding behind it. That, beloved, is a holy kind of sight. It is compassion and clarity woven together. But I will not lie to you about the weight of it, because a gift this heavy was never meant to be carried carelessly. And here is the truth that will shock you. This gift comes with a cross. Seeing everything means you can rarely unsee anything, and that one fact changes the entire way you walk through this world. Let me tell you about a woman from an old story. Her name was Cassandra. She was given a remarkable gift, the ability to see what was truly coming, to speak the truth before it ever arrived. But woven right into that gift was a cruel and bitter thread. No one would ever believe her. She would cry out her warnings, clear as daylight, desperate and certain, and the people would only look at her and shake their heads. Too dramatic, they said. Too negative. Too much. And so she watched disaster after disaster unfold, having seen it all coming, powerless to stop a single one. Chosen one. In this modern world, you are so often the Cassandra of your own life. You have felt it, haven't you? You saw the friend walking straight toward heartbreak, and you gently, lovingly tried to warn them, and they pulled away from you, hurt, as if you were the enemy. You sensed that the charming new person was not who they claimed to be, and you spoke up, and suddenly you were the difficult one, the jealous one, the judgmental one. the one ruining everybody's fun and refusing to just be happy for people. You see, this world runs on a quiet, unspoken agreement. Everyone puts on a mask, and everyone silently promises not to look too closely at anyone else's. It keeps things smooth. It keeps the peace at the dinner table. It keeps the workplace running and the family gatherings bearable. And then you walk in, carrying a light you cannot switch off, and it shines straight into the corners everyone had quietly agreed to leave in the dark. That is why your honesty sometimes creates fear instead of gratitude. Because when you see through a person, they feel exposed. They feel stripped bare. They feel naked in front of you. And wounded people do not thank the one who sees them too clearly. No, something in them recoils. Something in them turns. They call you cold. They call you arrogant. They say you think you're better than everyone, because it is easier to make you the villain than to face the thing you saw in them. So little by little, year by year, you learned a heavy and painful lesson. You learned that your clarity makes other people uncomfortable, and so you chose silence. You smiled when you wanted to speak. You nodded when everything in you disagreed. You pretended not to see what was plainly, painfully obvious to you. But that silence, beloved, it carved something hollow inside you. Every truth you swallowed left a little emptiness behind. And slowly, that emptiness pushed you toward the loneliest place of all. There is a particular kind of loneliness that only chosen ones truly know. It is not the loneliness of being by yourself. You can be perfectly content in your own company. No, it is the loneliness of standing in the very middle of a laughing, celebrating crowd, seeing something that no one else can see, and having absolutely no one you can say it to. You have been at the joyful gathering, watching everyone laugh and toast and celebrate, while your spirit quietly registered all the cracks running underneath it. You have smiled and offered kind, warm words to someone, while sensing exactly where their story was heading. And then you carried that heavy knowing home with you, all alone, tucked away in silence, because who would even believe you if you tried to explain it? Where would you even begin? And because you read people so effortlessly, because you always sense what others need before they have said a single word, you slowly became the one that everyone leans on, the steady one, the wise one, the strong one, the one who always seems to understand, who always knows the right thing to say, who somehow always sees the whole picture. But then you turn around, quietly hoping to be seen the very same way, and so often you find no one looking back. People assume you are far too strong to ever need protecting, far too aware to ever be the one who's hurting, and so the very soul who reads everyone becomes like a pane of clear glass. You see through everyone in the room, but when they look at you, they only see their own reflection staring back. If that has been your ache, chosen one, if you have healed 100 people and felt held by almost none of them, I want you to know something. I see it, and heaven has seen it all along. Not one of your silent nights has gone unnoticed by the one who made you. So now let me offer you the way through, because there truly is one. Your Father did not hand you these eyes to torment you. He did not make you this way as some kind of punishment. He gave you this sight to guide you safely home, and to help you guide others home as well. But first you must learn how to carry it, without letting it crush you. There are 3 sacred principles I want to place in your hands today. Hold on to them. Return to them. Let them become the way you walk from this day forward. The first is this. You must learn the sacred art of knowing everything, yet not carrying everything. You will see the flattery for what it is. You will see the fakeness dressed up as friendship. You will see the small, quiet manipulations that people play on one another every single day. And your spirit, being what it is, will want to rise up and set all of it straight. It will feel almost like a duty. But hear me, beloved. Not every truth you see is yours to fix. This is one of the most freeing lessons a chosen soul can ever learn. You must separate what is true from what is your responsibility. Just because you can see it does not mean you are called to confront it. Let some things drift right past you, like a gray cloud passing across the sky. You can see plainly that it is gray. You can acknowledge it. But you do not have to fly up into the heavens and push it away with your own 2 hands. Your sight is a tool given to keep you safe and wise. It was never meant to be a weapon to police and correct the entire world. Lay that burden down. It was never yours to carry. The second principle is this. You must learn to look upon the masks with compassion. So much of your exhaustion, so much of your quiet bitterness, comes from expecting people to be as real and as transparent as you are. You hold everyone to the standard of your own honesty, and they fall short, and it wears you down. But I want you to look again, this time with far gentler eyes. Ask yourself the deeper question. Why do people wear masks at all? It is not always to deceive you. It is not always to harm. Most of the time, beloved, people wear masks simply to survive. To hide a wound too tender to show, to cover an insecurity they were shamed for long ago, to protect themselves from the fear of not being loved if the real them was ever seen. That loud, boasting man is a boy still starving for the attention he never got. That cold, distant friend is trembling somewhere deep inside, terrified of being betrayed all over again. Sometimes, a person's mask is the only fragile thing holding them together. And the moment you truly understand this, something inside you shifts. The disgust begins to soften. The judgment loosens its grip. And in its place comes a holy kind of acceptance. You still see the mask clearly, but now you no longer feel the need to rip it off. You let the person feel safe inside it. Because the very highest form of understanding is not exposing another person's weakness for all to see. It is seeing that weakness clearly, completely, and choosing to be gentle with them anyway. And the third principle, beloved, the one your weary heart needs most of all, you must give yourself permission to rest from the watching. Your mind, in its love for you, wants to protect you by predicting every possible betrayal before it can ever arrive. It runs the scenarios. It scans for danger. It braces for the wound. But a heart simply cannot rest while it is forever bracing for the next blow. You cannot enjoy the sunshine of today while standing guard against a storm that may never even come. So learn, slowly and gently, to loosen your grip on controlling the future. When your radar quietly flags something, you do not have to act on it in a panic. You can simply notice it. Set it gently in the back of your mind, and then return your full attention to the goodness sitting right there in front of you. You can see the thorns on the rose. Of course you can. You always will, but if you spend all your time studying just how sharp each one is, you will never once lean in and breathe in its perfume. Allow yourself sometimes to simply enjoy the flower. Trust that heaven is holding the parts you cannot control. And when you learn to walk this new way, chosen one, something almost miraculous begins to happen inside you. Your sight does not vanish. Your discernment does not dull. No, it transforms into something far greater. You stop being a cold, harsh light that only exposes flaws and cracks and hidden faults, and you slowly become a lighthouse. And there is all the difference in the world between those two things. A harsh light exposes. It blinds. It makes people flinch and hide. But a lighthouse guides. It still sees every hidden rock beneath the black water. It still sees every dangerous current and every place a ship could run aground. But it does not panic at what it sees. It does not scream. It simply stands tall, calm, unshakable. And it shines a steady beam that leads the lost ones safely home through the fog. That, beloved, is who you were always meant to become. Not a burdened watcher, drowning silently in everything you are forced to see, but a lighthouse, a guardian. A quiet, steady, unwavering light in a world absolutely full of fog. So if you have felt this your entire life, if you have always seen what others simply could not, then hear these words and let them sink all the way down into your bones. You are not broken. You are not cursed. You are not too sensitive, too intense, or too much. You never were. You are awake. You are chosen. You were set apart for a reason you are only now beginning to understand. And the very same light that first opened your eyes will never, ever leave you to walk this road alone. Let us end our time together today in prayer. Father, I lift up every chosen soul who is hearing these words right now. Thank you for the eyes you have given them. Eyes that see the truth, that see the pain, that see what this world works so hard to hide. Ease the heavy weight they have carried in silence for so many years. Take their loneliness and turn it into holy purpose. Take their heaviness and turn it into wisdom. Take their sight and turn it into a lighthouse that guides other lost and weary souls safely home. And remind them, Father, every single day, that they are fully seen and deeply loved by you. That they were never, not for one single moment, truly alone. In your holy and precious name we pray. Amen. If this message reached that place in you that has felt unseen for so very long, I want you to do something right now. Before you move on with your day, take a moment and type the words "I see" down in the comments. Let it be a signal. Let it be a beacon. Let the other chosen ones scattered across this world find you there, so that not one of us has to walk this road alone anymore. And if you can feel the calling stirring quietly in your chest as I speak, then subscribe and stay close to this family. There is so much more that heaven still wants to show you. And I promise you, the journey home is always easier when we walk it together. I'll see you in the very next one. Beloved, until then, let your light shine.